Well, good morning. I'm going to turn on some light in here. Looks like it's a little bit dark in the room here. I hope everybody's jumping in. See who I'll get here. Let me see if I can get to an area where the light looks good. I'm over here I'm in a different room today. I'm a little bit grainy looking here. Hope it's not too bad grainy for you. I'm here in my living room, and hopefully we got a good week coming up this week. I've got my grand opening that's coming, and so I'm trying to get everything squared up on that, and hopefully I can get this light adjusted. There's my my wife sneaking up behind me there. If anybody saw that, that was my wife Barbara sneaking up behind me. She doesn't like to be on camera. She doesn't like to. She doesn't want to be a YouTube star, do you, Barb? Nope. No, nothing to. Not that we're going to get millions and millions of people seeing us, but she's not interested on being a YouTube celebrity in any way, shape, or form. But we. Barbara, will you turn another light on for me? Listen, I'm a little bit grainy looking in here. I don't know if that'll help or not. See if we can put a little more light on the situation. It's a little bit overcast. I was trying to use some natural light and everything. Turn another light on. Well, there's that light on. See if I'm a little less grainy looking in the background. And yeah, that helps a little bit. That helps a little bit. Barbara's turned on a few of the lights, and I was trying to use just natural light and seeing how good everything came out. I hope everybody's doing good. I've had a pretty good week this week, and we're working on getting our store ready for our grand opening. We're going to have the grand opening, and really. Hopefully that'll go over pretty good. I don't know if some of you saw the picture at the start of my video and everything. That was my dad. He was a member of the 82nd Airborne, and since they have been celebrating the fact that about the liberation of the Jews, I put that up there. My dad was a member of the 82nd Airborne. And he did help liberate the Auschwitz and everything. It was one of the most horrific things he had ever seen. So in honor of Dad, I put a picture of him on the front of that. And that's something that, everybody ought to think about, because it really is something that was very horrific. I'm not getting any. I don't know why my chat's messing up again. I'm not seeing anything in. Let me see if I might do a test on my chat, see if it's working this morning. I'm getting that. I've got people on, but I'm not seeing any chat right now. Let me see if I can get it to work again here. Hold on. Whoops. I see guys in, but I'm not seeing anybody on the chat myself, so I don't know how many people are chatting, because my chat is not working properly. So if you're in here, I've had this to. Let me see if I can change it. Oh, there we go. Now I'm seeing them. Good morning, guys. I see Greg, Ponka. Hey, Chris. Yeah, I just disappeared last week. I had my signal to go out, and we had a guy to come in to work on the Dish Network all at the same time, and my signal just died on me. I don't know what happened to it. Completely died, and I didn't feel like it was worth trying to get it back up and going again. Okay. Yep, I see everything now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Nova. Yeah, my dad was in the 82nd Airborne. He was a paratrooper. Uh, he uh, I was very proud of the way my dad was. He went through some very horrific situations with the Battle of the Bulge, and like I said, then he was a member of the 82nd that helped liberate some of the concentration camps, the 101st and the 82nd, and along with Russia, and all of them actually helped liberate that. And it was really some sort of horrific situation that he had to go through. So it's if you read your history and everything, and you see that, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, hopefully my signal will be good this week. I changed up on that part. I had it. I think my Wi-Fi. I think was happening. We were working with the like I said, the Dish Network guy. We had a receiver to go bad. And he came in to do it, and we started unplugging some things, and then all of a sudden I just got knocked off. And by the time I would get it back on the air or whatever, it probably been way too late. So I didn't mess with it, and I hope everybody understands. So that's what I was doing. Hope everybody's had a good weekend this week or week. I hope everybody's had a good week this past week, and we're still doing real good at the store. I'm real proud of the way the store's coming along. We had one of our best days this past week, and was the most productive day since I've had the business, and that was this past week. So we're feeling good about that. Yeah, that's about true. Yeah, the Dish Network guy, he was trying to upsell me on a few things. That's for sure. He came in, and one of the first few things he said, "Well, you want a new sound system for your TV?" I said, "No, I'm fine." And then he was selling me on this and that and the other, and so he was good at upselling. That's for certain. So that's what you get sometimes. But I was uh, okay. That's good to know, Nova. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of information from my dad about World War II. We got tidbits of it, and my brother and I were just exclaiming the other day. We it kind of after Dad died, and we got all of his paperwork and everything else in order. We found out more about his service in the World War II than we did during his lifetime because Dad never talked about it. And he won the Silver Star and Purple Heart. Of course, he had the victory campaign. It was like 8 or 10 things on his discharge papers that I had never seen before in my life until after Dad passed away. He kind of kept that to himself. Oh, okay. Yeah, they. No, I didn't make it to NAM. I was of the NAM age somewhat. Uh, I guess I'm one of the guys that is lucky. Uh, we had the lottery back in '66, I believe it was, when they gave us that lottery, or 66 or 67. I believe it's 66. And myself and my brother, just older than me, both of us more or less won the lottery. We had high numbers, and I think mine was like 327 or 328, and his was like 315 or something like that. And I did not get called. Of course, I was in college right after that too. When I graduated high school, of course, I went straight to college, and I got a college deferment too. But I had some guys that I remember one of the guys in my class in high school. He said, "Well, I won the lottery, I guess," and he had number one on the lottery. So he and I remember it was February 14th too. It was Valentine. Because he was born on Valentine's Day, and so that was number one for that year. And it was sort of ironic. I mean, I forgot exactly how it went, but I mean, I think we all had different years on the way the lottery landed and everything. But my brother D and myself, we both had high lottery numbers, which is good. Of course, both of us went to college too, and we got our college deferment, so we were able to not have to serve for that because I had plenty of my friends that did, and unfortunately, I had plenty of my friends that didn't make it back too. So I had uh, and my brother D's class. Now he lost three. And I'm talking about from a small town. We only have our town's only like 5,000 people, and he had three of his high school classmates that got killed in Vietnam. And then we had a couple others that were just above us in age that got killed. And then my age group, it was tapering down a little bit by the time I got there, and would have been drafted had I gotten drafted. Like I said, fortunately, I didn't get drafted because I went ahead and went straight to college and was able to get a college deferment and also had a high lottery number. Had I not even gone to college, I don't think I would have gotten drafted. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to read this and everything too. Yeah, you know it's let me watch my laptop. I'm moving it around here, trying to get the best. Uh, I don't know if my video's good. I want to make sure you get enough light and everything. But I'm very proud of everybody that did serve, and had I been called, I would have served. I didn't have any angst about not going and everything. My dad, like I said, he served in World War II. And my youngest brother, Perry, he actually joined the Air Force. Of course, Vietnam was tapering down big time by the time he got in there. And they actually were ending the war. He didn't graduate high school until 1974. And by that time, the Vietnam War was almost over anyway. And he wanted to join. He joined the Air Force. And he served 2 years in the Air Force. He's the only one of us four boys that actually served. There's four of us, so the three older ones didn't have to. Of course, we were all we were all in the age that we could have. Uh, it was definitely a time that you wanted to make sure that you went to college and kept your grades up, and you had incentives to do that because if you didn't, you would be in the ranks of uh, the ones getting drafted, and they were drafting them pretty hot and heavy back then. And a lot of people don't even understand the draft. I mean, they don't. Of course, they abolished the draft, and we got an all volunteer army now. And I thought for the longest time that when they did that, I said, "Oh gosh, how are they going to maintain an army?" But they've done real well. The United States has done real well with the volunteer army, and I'm real proud that we have. So it's that's a difference of I guess it's good that we have because the people that are going in, they're going in for either a career or they're going in to help their self, help their status for a few years, and when they do, they get a good education. They get an education of life. So I'm a military backer on that. Yeah. Well, and that's what you got to do, Chris. I mean, yeah, it's we're in a trying times right now with the president trying to do what he thinks right, and then we've got the government fighting against him, which I think we're in a tough situation because, and I tell people straight up, I said, I'm not, I'm a registered Democrat, and I'll tell you that straight up. But I vote how I want to vote, but I always try to honor the president. And we have so many people now that are just so, well, I'm a Democrat, so I hate Trump, and I'm gonna I'm going to do everything I can to get rid of him. And I just don't understand that. I don't understand that mentality. And you got some people. I saw Bill Maher on TV. He said, "I hope that the country tanks as far as the economy, because if the economy is good, Trump will go back in." So he would rather risk the country going bad so he could get rid of the president that he doesn't like. And I think I said, man, you're crazy. Because he's a rich Hollywood type, and he feels like he can do what he wants to do, and he thinks that he'll never be affected with anything. So, that's people that's out of touch reality. I mean, I'm over here in the in the South, and like I said, pretty much, I've Dean, I'm right. I probably can see you if you come through the. My daughter is upstairs. I'm warning her that she might be on TV here. Yeah. Well, I hope the economy stays strong. I'm all for. I don't care who's in. I hope the economy stays strong, and I never want to see the country do good, regardless of who's in charge as far as president and everything. It's just right now we're seeing so many people that are going crazy. I think on these they're having a socialist agenda, and it is just it's crazy to me. It is the craziest thing I've ever heard for somebody to say that they're a democratic socialist. The word socialist in itself is just such a. I mean, that's like saying, you know, I enjoy having cancer or something to me. I mean, that is a cancer in itself. Uh, you know, I can't fathom somebody wanting to associate theirself as a socialist in the United States. I mean, that has got to be the most far fetched thing that anybody could do, and we're having them. We've got them now with this Green New Deal and all these kind of crazy programs that people are wanting to shove down our face. Can't see it. Cannot see it at all. Yeah. Yeah, I know what it is. It's very disrespectful for people that get out there, for the common man to even be subjected to situations like what we're saying, that a Green New Deal, and it's going to bring their they're estimating that it's going to cost every household, every person in every household, $600,000 over the next 10 years. They did it. I I don't have an extra 600,000 to give them. I can tell you that. I mean, our taxes are going to go up, and and things will be relative. I mean, we're in a crazy world right now where everybody is trying to say, "Oh, we got to give everybody a living wage." I hate to tell you, your entry level jobs are getting, they're doing away with entry level jobs. People that own businesses like myself cannot afford to hire entry level people now with no skills whatsoever and pay them a $15 an hour wage. It just won't work. We won't do it. And the government is so stupid that they think, or let's say certain parts of the government think, that if they raise the minimum wage is there to, so you don't. Gosh, I don't know. I really wish they would do away with the minimum wage and let everything fall into place how it wants to be, because we got some people that you could hire. You could say, "Hey, Joe Blow, you're over here picking up bottles on the side of the road, but if you do this for me instead, I'll give you X amount of dollars." That's what we should be able to do. Instead, we have impoverished people that can get no job because they have no skills, and no one's going to hire them because they can't afford to meet the minimum amount of guidelines. That's exactly right. Minimum wage is a starting point. It is not a career path to stay on. I mean, you get on minimum wage because you know that's where you started. It minimum wage when I grew up, I made 50 cents an hour. I think minimum wage was around 50 cents or 60 cents an hour when I was young. So they could afford to hire somebody to do a small job. Uh, and now minimum wage, like I said, it's $7 an hour, and they're talking about making it go to $15 an hour. I mean, anybody in their right mind knows that that's not a, you know, the average small businessman, he's going to have to find a way to cut back or go up in his prices or do something because you cannot. I mean, heck, you might as well make it $50 an hour because you're not going to be able to afford it. I mean, it, people don't realize that as soon as they do that, that the minimum wage is the biggest inflator of everything that there ever was. I mean, once you say we're going to take all these menial jobs and we're going to inflate them up to where it is a more skilled level job, well, the skilled level people will go up higher. And all that does is just raise the cost of living everywhere. I mean, I've seen it happen 50 years. For the past 50 years, I've seen that happen. I mean, when you saw minimum wage, well, I mean, to give you, for instance, when I started a union job in 1967, it was $3.29 an hour. And that was a union job. That was a Teamsters union job. And that was $3.29 an hour. And I thought I thought I was rich. I mean, $3.29 an hour was making a lot of money. Of course, a brand new car back then would cost you $2,900. I think when Mustangs first came out, they were $2,600, $2,599 or something like that. That's what a new Mustang costs. And when 65, 66 Mustangs, they were like $2,500, $2,600. So it's all relative. But then you raise the minimum wage up. So what have we got now? You can't go out and buy a car now for less than 25,000 new. And I was looking at a report this morning about car sales are sagging right now. New car sales are, because the cost of new cars have gotten too high. JC's in here. He buys used cars and used trucks all the time. He sees that probably is more apparent in his business than probably any of ours. And it just inflates the cost of yeah, I know it. And that's some of these people, they stay unemployable by not trying to gain their anybody that should get out there and try to improve their skills. I mean, if you're going to be a fry cook, I mean, it's great that McDonald's has an opportunity to give somebody minimum wage to go out and do a menial job. But do you look at a job like that to be a career? I mean, that's entry level. Entry level. That means you do this job until you can find yourself a better job. You don't go out there and say, well, I'm going to be a fry cook at McDonald's for the rest of my life. But yeah, I mean, it is so bizarre that some people, look at minimum wage at, well, yeah, at least go from fry cook to head fry cook. You know, you just you've got to want to do better. You've got to want to do better in anything you do like that. You don't want to get out there and say, well, I'm going to just do this forever. I have never looked at anything like that. I mean, anything. Well, yeah, a McDonald's GM will make six figures. Yeah. And if that's what you want to do, you want to grow up in the McDonald's chain. You want to better yourself. I mean, it's not to say that there's not money made in McDonald's, and then you want to get to a point that you could buy your own McDonald's franchise. There's avenues everybody can take to improve themselves. You don't need to stay on the bottom rung of the ladder. That's the problem. And we've got too many people that want to stay on the bottom rung of the ladder and never have a desire to move forward. And that's what you got. You got to have that desire. It's not going to come. Somebody's not going to just say, knock, knock, it's your turn. You're going to have to show a desire. You're going to have to work extra. You're going to have to put the initiative in there to make something happen. I mean, I've never been given anything just by who I am. I mean, I have to work and scrape and figure and try to figure every angle you can to get different things. Oh God, yeah, there's too many that can't see the forest for the trees. You if you want to sit on the sidelines, and there's plenty of people that do that, and that's what really bothers me. But look at how the government keeps saying, "Oh well, we need to give everybody a living wage. We need to give this. We need to give that," and I'm keep saying we don't need to give people anything. We need to make the opportunity out there so they can get it. But we don't need to give them anything. If they don't take the ball and run with it themselves, they can stay on the sidelines. They can stay back there as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we have the best working society in the world. I mean, there's nobody got a better situation than the United States. Nobody. Hands down, nobody. There's not another government anywhere in the world that works out better than we do. I mean, a lot of them say, "Oh, you got this in Sweden, or you got this," but there's restrictions from these other places that we don't want. I mean, when it comes to health care and a few other things, I say, "Oh, we need universal health care and all that." Everybody needs health care, that's for sure. Everybody needs to prepare themselves for some, that's sure. I think we need to restructure insurance, and we need to make sure that insurances and places are paid properly. I'll give you an example. I go to a doctor, and he is off. He takes no insurance payments whatsoever. What he does, he basically self-insures because he charges. I'm going to say it's $850 a year, but you can go to him as many times as you want to. Now, I don't go to him maybe once or twice a year, but when I go, it costs me nothing. So I pay, I think it's $85 a month that I pay him every year. I mean every month. Well, that $85, I can use. I mean, or $850 for the year. I think it is for the yearly charge. But I can use that up in just a couple of visits. If I go to the emergency room once or twice, well, that sucks up thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars. So I mean, it's a bargain to be able to get this doctor, and knowing that I can get a real doctor at any time I want, day or night. And he's like, it's like the old timey doctors. Basically, it's two doctors, and they've set this up in our area. But they won't take my Medicare or anything else. I mean, I'm going to pay them their fee, but they will help me in any way they can. And when I go for tests or whatever, I mean, I had to pay for tests, but uh, I don't. That's the way we're going to have to restructure things, is from within, so we can get people like that. If we could get doctors that would do things like that, and you look at it in the long run, you're way better ahead. And he's basically got a co-op, I guess you might say, because he only allows, I think it's 1,000 people. Well, yeah, okay, you take that and look at it and how much he's going to make, and he's going to make a good salary for 1,000 people, and 850. Well, I guess that's 850,000, and he works his whole office staff and everything out of that, and then he still has a good salary for himself too. I don't know where he divvies it out, but he's able to maintain a complete office by doing that, and I think that's smart business. And he doesn't have to deal with insurances, because they have said that these doctors have to spend so much extra money just to do the government paperwork that their staff costs them twice as much when they do the other way. So I can understand. And so if you keep it all internal and you don't have to mess with that. Hey, Jan, how are you? From South Africa. Okay, I'm glad to see you there. How's the weather in South Africa? Um, but, uh, I think, when you look at it, I think the United States is far far exceeds any other government that and any other place that most people would rather be. Uh, I mean, when you look at the tyranny and everything that other countries have, and all I mean, there's some that are very productive. You might say Germany is very productive, and they got a pretty good situation in some cases, but they don't have the freedoms we have. Okay, winter's sneaking in there, is it? Oh man, yeah, yeah. You're just opposite the equator of us in South Africa, so you're yeah. Whereas summer, we're on the start of spring and coming into summer, so you're in the fall going into winter type thing. So you're getting some cold days down in South Africa. Where are you at in Johannesburg or somewhere close to that? I hope I'm not getting too shaky. I got my laptop's over here on my knee, and I hope I'm not too shaky for y'all guys. We'll see you, JC. You got to go make some revenue to pay those taxes. I hear you. Also, you're in Cape Town, South Africa. Okay. Yeah, Cape Town is right. That's at the very bottom of South Africa. It's isn't it? If I can't remember my geography in my head here. Uh, I I like it's sort of odd. I was able to keep a foreign exchange student when I was a senior in high school. I was in what they call American Field Service, AFS, and where we keep exchange students. And we had a boy from South Africa. He was actually at another school, but he was visiting our school, and he was able to stay with us for a few days. And I got to learn a little bit about South Africa, which was real interesting. And uh, but he was a blonde headed. I remember he had real pretty blonde hair. I don't know if he was from his parents were from Swedish descent or what, but he looked like he was Swedish more than he did probably South African. But he had pretty blonde hair, and he was a real nice looking young man and athletic and everything else. But he went to school at an adjoining school, but they were doing exchange students for us, and we like I said, we got to keep him. I'm wanting to, I can't remember what the boy's name was, but he's a grown man now, and I guess he's living and working in South Africa now. Uh, he I'm trying to think. I'm wanting to say he was from Johannesburg. I think I can't remember, and unfortunately, I didn't keep up with him enough. I don't even remember his name. Uh, but that was back in 1968, 69, something like that. So he's a grown man. He's in his late 60s and everything now. Oh, he used to stay in Pretoria. Now that's where the Olympic runner lived, wasn't it? That got in trouble. The guy that what was the had the uh, Blade Runner type. Wasn't that the name of it? The guy that killed his girlfriend accidentally or on purpose or whatever. I think that's where he was from, wasn't it? It was from Pretoria. I think I'm right. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm getting tidbits of that information in my brain here, but um, it's kind of gone around the world here as far as economics and everything today, and it all holds true for what we're doing over here in the United States. Our economy is Mr. Pretorius. Okay, yeah. Uh, our economy is doing good right now in the United States, and I'm anxious to see how we're going to go over the next few years. We have parts of the government that's trying to disrupt it, something terrible. And if we can control our imports and exports, and I was noticing, I had a report because I have trucks that go into uh, Charleston, and we go in, we pull a lot of stuff out of the harbor, and the harbors down there are full. I mean, full right now. They're pulling out uh, overseas shipments as fast as they can get them. No, I hadn't finished the stage yet. We had some rain, and I didn't want to put all that plywood down. Yeah, California sucks. Yeah, containers. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, yeah. The container trailers are just they've got more containers down there. They can handle almost coming out of Charleston. We stay really busy out of Savannah and Charleston, and we were able to get a new run out of Savannah. And actually, while I'm on here, I need drivers for Savannah, Georgia. So if anybody knows anybody that wants to drive for Savannah, Georgia, let me know because I need drivers in that area. If you want to pull doubles and you want a good pay, starting at about 65,000 a year, 5 days a week, and sometimes 6 and 7 if you need the extra. Uh, but we definitely need the drivers out of Savannah, Georgia. I've got vacancies right now. So I was just awarded another run that starts Monday night, and I've got to get some more drivers in there. So anybody that knows anybody that wants to pull doubles and wants to get qualified for FedEx, or if you're a FedEx driver already in another location, you want to relocate to Savannah, Georgia, get in touch with me. And my information is on my page, so you should be able to get in touch with me anytime. So let's do that if you can. Well, guys, my voice is about to give out on me again, so I am going to get off of here. And I've enjoyed talking with everybody this morning. And I'll talk a little politics, trucking, and Napa and everything. I got to get ready for this upcoming Napa uh, store grand opening, which is this coming Friday and Saturday. So we're going to do that, and I'm going to try to film some of that because I got a lot of interesting things going on. So I'll see y'all later, guys, and y'all take care. See ya.